Year!
Happy New Year!
Here's your chance.
You got any resolutions?
I got
None?
To lead better.
Okay.
There we go. How about that? You have some?
Yeah.
Okay.
My resolution is to see how long into the new year I can say New Year, New Me before people get furious with me.
All right. Well, there's one.
Welcome to Leading Hope. New Year, New Us.
There we go. There we go. Hey, this is season 3. Can you
Season
believe it? We're
3.
on episode 109 today, which we'll get to in just a second.
New season,
but
new
that
me.
is 52, 104. 5 episodes in, man. We're welcome for being here. We can't wait to hang out. Welcome. You're listening to the Leading Hope podcast. My name is VJ Williams. Here is my friend and pastor, Kevin Jack. New year, new him.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us and taking time out of your day to become a better leader. If you're new, welcome. We release a new episode every Wednesday. We'd love for you to subscribe and get those automatically downloaded to your favorite podcast platform. Also, share it with a friend on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Also, rate and review. You won't believe how that helps get this podcast in the hands of so many more leaders just like you. And visit leadinghope.online to get updates and find out more about the Leading Hope community. Kevin, you are ready to go. Episode 109.
Oh, I am.
This is a new series you've entitled Think Like a Leader, and today's title is Prioritize Process.
So what we're going to jump into as we start the year, the intention is that this is going to be a 4-part series. It may go a little beyond that based upon just kind of what we cover, what we all get into within it. And the idea here is to go, if you're not thinking like a leader, you're not going to be able to lead. And one of the most profound quotes I heard is to say, everything is created twice, first in your head and then in reality. And I think the same thing falls into your posture as a leader. What you do, how you think matters more than simply what you do. And I know that may sound weird, but to go, if you're not thinking with a leadership bent, if you're not thinking through a leadership framework, you may accidentally lead well, but you will not continuously lead well, which really brings us into the idea today. So I want to confess early on to go, I don't love the title of this, okay, of Prioritize Process, but I hope this makes sense. And I think it's maybe even better captured. Years ago, I read a book, one of my favorite leadership books by Bill Walsh, the ex-San Francisco 49ers head coach. And the title of the book almost says everything it needs to. And the title is The Score Takes Care of Itself. And it was this sense of the thing that everybody wants to obsess about is not the thing that you should obsess about. If you're obsessed about the right things, then the outcomes will automatically be in line where you want it to be. And one of his quotes within the book itself was, culture precedes positive results. That before you have the results that you're looking for, before you have the impact and the outcomes that you so earnestly desire, there are things that have to come before that. It's the process. It's, if you're a coach, it's practice. It's the how. And I know this can get us into like really murky territory because we understand as it comes to new ideas, new inventions, new initiatives, that if we focus on how we're going to do it, we'll miss the idea, the innovation, the invention in the process. The people who quickly jump to, like if you've sat in that meeting where someone's going, we could do this, and someone's back there and they're going, that won't work. How will we do that? And the idea is dead on arrival. Like there is nowhere to go. We're not talking about that because fostering creativity, fostering innovation is so much about looking at, hey, let's let this simmer. I had loved in the book on Pixar's culture, Creativity Inc. They say, don't kill ugly babies. Oh, which is like, man, as a phrase, that's just like, ooh, that kind of makes me. But their statement is to go, it's got to have room to grow. Yeah. Like ideas have growth phases. It's going to be awkward at first. You have to give ideas room to grow. Yeah. But as it comes here, okay, so I want to say we're not talking about in terms of innovation, invention, things like that. The tendency for most people is to focus on, did we win or did we lose? Did we achieve the goal or did we miss the goal? And that is not what leaders look at. That is not what they focus at. Leaders focus on process first. They focus on practice first. And so if I can say it like this, there's the statement that event plus response equals outcome. You have probably heard this phrase before. I did not make it up. Event plus response equals outcome. Event does not equal outcome. Event plus response equals outcome. And what I have found is that leaders overvalue response and non-leaders overvalue event. So this is what I want to do throughout this series is I want to give you the non-leader's perspective, because I think when we talk about the leader's perspective, it'd be easy to go, oh yeah, I think like that, because you've thought that way one time. Or you go, oh yeah, that is how I process, when that's not your basic. So I want to give you, this is how the non-leader approaches events so you can more fully grasp how leaders think throughout the process. So the non-leader perspective is really obvious. All that matters is if you win. We won. We played terribly. We won. Yeah, it was lucky. Well, we reached our goal. Yeah, we could never duplicate it. And the non-leader will continuously over and over again, no, it doesn't matter. We won. It doesn't matter. We came through in what we wanted to. And what I found is that leaders are very distrusting of an unexpected win. Oh, man, we could stay on that forever. Leaders are very distrusting of an unexpected win. If your team won, like this works in sports well, you go, we won. Yeah, we shouldn't have. That's not celebrated. I have found like great coaches will celebrate a good loss more than they will a bad win. And you go, well, how does that work out? You guys won. No, because that's not the score takes care of itself. Culture precedes outcome. And it's understanding when we focus on what got us there. I have this conversation. So I've got 3 of my kids right now are playing basketball. And so we'll go outside in the driveway. We've got a hoop in the driveway, and we'll work on their shooting form. And it's so, at moments, it's so hard to teach and correct them because don't hear this as negative, like they're young. They're going to have terrible form. They can hardly get the ball to the hoop.
Right.
They are least teachable when the ball goes in. And so they'll shoot it, and their elbows out here, and this thumb is propelling the ball, and they go through that, and the ball will go in. And I'll say, no, you're not. No, that's not how you shoot it. And they go, but it went in. And I want to say, yeah, but you can't duplicate it. You can't do it again. You can't do it consistently. Just because it went in is not the only parameters that you should be looking at. And I would say it to you as well. Just because you won, just because you hit the goal, just because you happen to like land where you wanted to is not the thing that you should be obsessed about. You need to prioritize, process how you get there. So let me give you a couple applications real quick, and then we'll jump into this idea as a whole. So applications for development, okay? First off, obsess about your habits, be it personally, be it organizationally. Your life is the outcome of your habits and behaviors, so you have to learn to obsess about them, to go, what is getting me to where I want to go? Not just did I get there, but what are the things that I'm doing that are getting me to where I want to go? Obsess about your habits. Second application for development that'll help you think more like a leader, especially in this area. Make your energy in the process match your energy for the event. This is the more important of the two, okay? I just want you to know that. Make your energy in the process match your energy for the event. I want to come to the meeting that plans with as much energy as the event itself. I want to bring, so like for me as a pastor, I want to bring as much energy to my study as I do to delivering a message. I stumbled across this. I was listening to an interview with Deion Sanders, the coach of, he's now the coach of Jackson. Oh, yeah, prime time. So he's now the coach of Jackson State.
Best DB ever?
Oh, agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
No, I'm asking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jackson State.
Struggled a little bit on tackling, but that's fine.
Good stuff.
So he's the coach at Jackson State, and his statement he said, nobody wants to practice to get better. Everybody wants to have practiced and that it's over. But no one shows up anymore with a desire and a will to get better.
Yeah.
And if I could just like share, like that is what this is all about. It's the sense of like we go through the motions leading up to it. We go through the motions in process, in meetings, in practice, whatever it is. And then sometimes we hit the goal, sometimes we don't. And we obsess about the win-loss record. We obsess about everything else at the end of the day when we should be ultimately focused on the things that precede that.
That's great. It's good stuff, man. There's a ton to cover here. Let's start there, actually. let's just start there and work our way backwards because you said basically you're saying practice is way more important than game day.
Yeah.
And we don't see that. Everybody wants the lights.
Yep.
Everybody wants the fun that comes with the game day, the crowd.
Yep.
The whatever that looks like in your, the meeting, the big meeting that you're going to have that you're going to show everyone what you're talking about.
Yep.
Everybody wants that, but nobody wants to practice. What can we say to help people move into that and saying this is why you need to learn how to practice?
I mean, I honestly say it as to go at the end of the day, if you are event performance focused, whatever success you achieve there will be lucky and short-lived.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality at the end of the day is to go like anyone can show up with energy for the big thing.
Yeah.
For the thing everyone's watching, for the thing that matters.
Yeah.
And to go, and the tendency is you go, I don't know, how many times have we seen coaches only evaluated on their win-loss record?
Yeah.
And to go, it takes time. Like it takes time to build culture. It takes time to build discipline and habits.
Yeah.
And sometimes, say it like this. Could we talk about my Pittsburgh Steelers for a second?
Let's do.
Yeah. So the Steelers last year were not this year, not this football season.
Yeah.
Okay, depending on I'm talking like 2021 football season. Is that right?
2020.
2020 football season.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah.
They were 11-0.
Yeah.
And like when you listen to like analysts talk about them and stuff like that, like they had them up near number one in the power rankings. There are people starting to talk like, are they going to go undefeated? Anyone who watched the games is going, no, they kind of suck. Like they do. Like you're watching it and you're going, they're winning, but it's ugly. And when you're winning ugly every single time, that's not sustainable.
Yeah.
And eventually the team collapsed and that's carried over into this year. But it's the sense of like, we get so focused on, did you meet your goal? Did you hit this? And I want to know, like, how did you hit it? Like, how did you get there? What is the process you went through in order? So I would say it like this. If I have a bad message, I know why.
Right.
Like, I know why. I know. Did I not spend enough time in study? Did I not spend enough time in memorization? Was something off? Did I show up with no energy in the moment?
Yep.
Because I was 1,000 meetings earlier that day. Like, I know why. And I think that's the piece on this is to go, if your win or loss is attributed to factors that are completely outside your control, you don't know why. And you need to know.
Yeah, and we're talking a lot about sports, and I'm hoping you're able to make that correlation between your everyday. But just to keep it on the sports metaphor, you were talking about how to identify leaders from non-leaders, and if you talk about all your friends that talk about sports, we all have friends that talk about sports. Both a lot of females, a lot of males. They all talk about sports in some fashion, and you can easily find out who's a good leader and who's not because they'll say all that matters is we won.
Yeah.
You're not a good leader.
That's exactly right.
Because you don't know how to replicate that thing that you just did. You don't know what to replace. You don't know what to replicate.
Yep.
You don't know how to respond.
Yep.
Right? And I'm thinking, man, if more of us could get that attitude of, no, it's not just the W's and losses. Mm-hmm. It's how you got there. And talk more about that and why that's important.
Well, so right now I'm helping coach a 5th and 6th grade girls basketball team and a 3rd and 4th grade girls basketball team. And to go, we've had some wins that weren't good wins.
Yeah.
And we've had some losses that were great losses. And so, like, the message to the girls at that age is, you did great.
Right.
Next time, if you play like that, you'll win. Because you rebounded, you played defense, you did all these other things. Where when they have the win that wasn't a good win, it's just like, hey, that's fleeting.
Yeah.
Like, that's not going to be around for long.
Yeah. And when we talk about that too, I think especially in modern day coaching and stuff is your job as a coach should to be to help kids know that learning is fun and equate those two together. Where most people are like, oh, let's just win. You got to be competitive. No, you got to equate. Learn. Did you learn something? Did you get better? To fun. That is fun. Learning is fun. And to do that, you will create the best version of the
That's good.
players moving forward.
I remember there's this Andy Stanley quote years ago. He was talking about momentum.
Yeah.
He said, if you don't know what is driving momentum in your organization, you're just one dumb decision away from ruining it.
Oh, wow.
And to go like, that's a huge thing to go like, if you don't know the things that are driving the success in your life, then you're just going to look at everything and you're going to go, lucky, unlucky. It's like, that's a stupid way of living.
Yeah.
Leaders prioritize process, the thing that they can control.
Yeah.
And they're very distrusting of an unexpected win.
That's really good. I want you to talk a little bit more about energy matching because I think that thing, people come in after the big event. For us, it'd be weekends.
Yeah.
Right. And then you come in on Monday and you're like, oh, what God did on the weekend or what we were able to be revealed to us more accurately, individually and collectively was overwhelming, draining and stuff. How do we come in on Monday matching the energy?
I almost hate my answer.
Well, good.
Okay. Because to just say that as like there's a piece of me that wants to make this like really systematic, scientific and go, oh, this is how you do it. And I want to say like you want it more.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that simple. Like, how do you show up for practice every day? Like if it's sports, you want it more than the person next to you. How do you, whatever that's business, whatever that is, okay, in your life, is to say, that's it. You have to have a desire for it because anyone can show up to the event with energy.
Yeah.
The leader shows up to the process with the same level of energy.
That's good. And then the last thing I want you to just speak on real quick, because I think that quote that you started with, I don't have it completely here. Will you read that everything is created twice quote?
Oh, first in your mind and then in reality.
Yeah, that's really powerful. I think a lot of us don't realize that that's actually happening, that it's just the reality.
Yeah. And so you go at the end of the day to go, if you're not thinking like a leader, if you don't understand the framework that a leader has, how they process through stuff, then you will not live like a leader. You won't behave like a leader. You won't operate and make decisions like a leader. And at the end of the day, you'll win by 2, play horribly, and go, this is awesome. We crushed it. They go, no, you didn't. You got really, really lucky, and it won't happen again.
That's exactly right. That's it. That's all we got time for. You want to summarize, prioritize, process today?
Yeah, so here's bottom line on this. Don't obsess about what you did. Obsess about how you're doing it. Don't obsess about what is beyond your control. Turn your attention to what you can influence, okay? We say it like this: event plus response equals outcome. Leaders obsess about response instead of just event.
And there we have it, 109, prioritize process. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you're new to the podcast or haven't yet subscribed, now's your time to hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform. Also post about it, rate and review. You will not believe how that helps get this podcast in everyone's hands, just like you. And if you have a story, we want to hear those. We love how to hear how the podcast is working in your life or business. Visit leadinghope.online and send that to us. We'd love to hear from you. And remember, everyone has 20 minutes to learn to become a better leader. Make it count.